Beanie.
La libertà. Free show at 2 o'clock. Washington Square Park. Free show 2 o'clock.
Thank you. Could I ask you a question? Have you heard of the San Francisco Mime Troupe?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of them?
It's a good organization.
Thank you. What do you think of them?
Oh, they're groovy people. You know, there's nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with anybody here.
Have you heard of the San Francisco...
CIA?
Have you heard of the San Francisco Mime Troupe?
Yes.
What do you think of them?
Great. Fantastic. I like them. What do I think about them? Well, I think they're very dramatic.
They get you high. They're very funny. They turn people on.
We could walk. Where could we walk? Grand Avenue.
Down Montgomery Street and around back.
Oh, they're so square down there.
No, it's also...
No, this
stand on
spot
the
is.
corner of Broadway and Columbus for a while.
All right, let's go to Broadway and Columbus.
Yeah, you go.
Broadway and Columbus. Let's go Broadway and Columbus. That's right. Broadway and Columbus. Broadway and Columbus. Where we have a show. Where Americans having a good time.
A good time.
A good time. We'll see you at Washington Square Park at 2 o'clock.
You bet your life,
All right.
buddy.
How
I'm
are
tuned
you?
up, Columbus, old
All right. Free
You
show.
make a landing.
Right, I made a landing. Il Gruppo di Mimo di San Francisco presents for your appreciation. Il Gruppo di Mimo, 2 o'clock, in the park, free show. How are you there? We'll see you at my show today, no doubt. One side, punk. Pantalon, don't do anything hasty. Look at that woman, her skin.
This is the San Francisco Mime Troupe giving a free performance in one of San Francisco's public parks. Organized in 1959 by R.G. Davis, the Mime Troupe conceives of itself as a radical alternative to commercial theater, a guerrilla band that snipes at the conventions of middle-class America. Most of the people who see the Mime Troupe perform are ardent supporters, but some are shocked and offended by its irreverence. Its most prominent critic has been the San Francisco Park and Recreation Commission, which has tried unsuccessfully to bar the Mime Troupe from the city's parks. But the Mime Troupe's struggle to survive continues, without money, without the support or encouragement of the cultural establishment. The Mime Troupe's message, like that of the new generation for which it speaks, is try a different way of life. This film is about what it means to try.
Hold on. Pantalon, everyone hear me. Today, the miser is out of date. It's the big spenders like me who rate. Money must be spent. It thrives on trade. After all, William, that's the secret of how this nation's made. La 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 la. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. 2 reminders. One, that we exist solely on your donations, so that as people come around, please drop something in the hat. Money, money! Second of all, that you can help us remain to play these free performances in the park by coming forward and signing our petitions, which will be on the stage. And then you can join the Mime Troupe and help us to undermine conventional attitudes toward money, morality, and sex. And that is a quote from Mr. Conway, the Vice President of the Park and Recreation Department. Thank you very much.
What's your name? Money, money. It won't do you any good. It's the root of all evil. Good, good. Your sins are forgiven.
This is my first crack at this kind of theater. I've never worked in this kind of theater. And after... Thanks very much. We've done it about 8 weeks, and...
You've done the miser about 8 weeks?
Yeah, you know, you can do it.
Yeah, you look like you've been pretty polished at it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you just pick it up, the kids jump on stage, ad-libs, that come at you out of the blue, and you really deal with it. It's the kind of thing you don't think about, it just happens. You know, somebody forgets to make an entrance, somebody else jumps out on stage and just covers, ad-libs, does anything. It's beautiful. I mean, ensemble playing. And I don't think I can go back and do...
don't talk to me, don't know from nothing.
Shut up.
He's
I don't
Jewish,
think I can do
he's from New
fourth-wall
York,
theater. I really
he
don't.
don't know nothing. He's anti-Semitic.
You got more money than I
got more money, that's because...
Yeah, maybe not
I
doing too
can't
well.
tell.
Thank
We're
you
not
very
doing
much.
too well. How are you, Don? I didn't see you give any money today.
Money, money, money.
Yes, I'm glad of that.
Will you even take new quarters? Ooh, thank you. Monopoly or easy money? No, it's the real thing. Money, money. We'll even take new quarters. Quantity, not quality. Money, money.
People like this that give these kind of shows, they can't be very successful if they have to give it for free.
Why is that? Why do you say that, then?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they usually you think of an audience going to the Current Theater or something like that, the Gurion, sitting down and watching a tremendous performance, but these people seem to be a little lost, I think.
Why lost?
I don't know. They seem they don't have any purpose in life.
For the Mime Troupe. Make the world safe for hippies.
The Mime Troupe, well, that's a good scene to a degree too, but at least they're giving something for something, you know. Yeah, it's something for something. Very good.
The show must do something to somebody because the Park Commission tried their damnedest to stop us. And if the show were really obscene, as they said it was, they could have arrested us for obscenity.
Well, the city itself tried to stop them from giving these free performances for various reasons, obscene and various other reasons.
But they didn't. They just tried to take away our permit.
On what grounds?
What I said. James Conway said that the Mime Troupe was out to undermine conventional attitudes toward morality, money, sex. Well, we've never said that overtly in any of our plays, so he must have gotten it from somewhere. I mean, even a jerk can be perceptive.
Are you out to do that?
Yeah, of course we're out to do that. What would be the point otherwise?
You have license?
I mean, why settle for anything less? If you're an artist of any kind, you want to change people's lives, I think. And you can do that. You can do that by example, by the kind of life you lead. In other words, saying, I live this kind of life, it's a viable alternative, or you can do it in your work, or you can do both, and that's what we do. Can somebody get me out of this?
To feel more and more that something's wrong with the artists and where they're looking for their ideas and for their material. What made Brecht a success in the cabaret was that Brecht was hooked up with Germany, with what was happening with people in such a way so that when he used this thing and it came out.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's nobody else around. I'm gonna kick in a girl and hold you. Do all the things I told you in the midnight hour. Oh, yeah.
And it's an understandable thing, but it's no solution. And I'm concerned that Ronnie is doing the same. And now, you know, there's no begrudging him going to hippie audiences and getting his $2 a head and keeping himself alive. That has to be done. But in the meantime, something else has to be found. I don't know what it is. I'm suddenly very concerned about it.
I'm gonna take you, girl, and hold you. Do all the things I told you in the midnight hour. Oh, yeah, in the midnight hour.
You want a solution which is like a rock with a little house on it, and you want a community.
I want someone to put down their roots and start to make changes. And you're not going to do that by flitting around the country.
Sure?
positive. Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's splitting
And
the country.
the thing's in a mess.
Look, the evidence of what we've done has been quite different than anybody else you know has done. So
R.G. Davis, director of the Mime Troupe.
connecting to a social group and so on. We've attempted to connect to social groups, and we are connected to social groups. We're also a voice of a certain kind of community.
Okay, and I'm questioning it. I mean, I wonder what you are... What problem are you solving?
You're solving a particular problem of being alive and creating a certain kind of theater and doing it, constantly doing it, and facing up to certain kind of issues.
I am suggesting to you that there is no... I am suggesting to you that all you are doing is keeping your head barely above water and that no real long-range solutions are coming out of it.
Right. There are no long-range
solutions. You're
shotgunning
your way around the country.
There are no long-range solutions.
I think there are some.
For instance.
I don't have them.
And that's what you've always done, is told me we've never addressed the question correctly. No one's ever addressed the question correctly. Give me a solution. I know all the
All right,
questions.
I'll go home. I'll work it out tonight.
Yeah, I don't want to know any more questions. I know a lot of questions.
You do?
Yeah, 1,000 more than you do about how to run a theater. Yes.
There's
and
no
how to deal with a
question.
fucking audience. And what to do with it as society. All of those questions I know. Give me any solution. One.
Ronnie, that is not a relevant question. No one is doing it. You know the answer to that.
We've come closest to it. Free Southern Theater tried to develop an audience, and within 2 years it's out of business. What should we do? I'm not a social organization for changing the society
You're not?
necessarily.
No.
I'm a pinprick, and I'm going to state certain things.
Okay,
yes.
and I want to know who
I'm
you're
not a
pricking.
political movement.
Who are you pricking? You're going around and pricking to all the college students
Right,
who
very
you
important.
can talk to, you can communicate
Right,
with.
absolutely very
Wonderful.
important.
You'll
It's
prick
very
each
important.
other. It'll be a very satisfying relationship.
Absolutely very
Wonderful.
important. Very
Wonderful.
important to
And
do
it's
that.
teeny and it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
What is relevant?
Who are they? What's
What
going
is
on?
relevant then?
What is relevant is the question that I'm raising, and that is...
That's all it is a fucking question,
or
which
what do
we've
you want?
answered.
What, am I Karl Marx? I don't have a solution for you. So I don't want to talk about
We're going
that.
to play to all the hippies and all the young people in the United
Okay,
States.
go ahead.
They're very valid because
They are valid.
They join SNCC and they come to work in your project.
They are
and they
valid.
come to work in SBS.
Of course
and
they're
all
valid.
very lovely and they're all
But-
very funny and they pay
And they're all talking to each other, and I'm tired of it. They are too.
I mean, SDS guys are
Don't
more
tell me who they're
angelic
talking
than we
to.
are.
I know they all time talk to me. And I'm tired of it.
And you've been in the left so long, you're getting tired.
It's really a bore. Okay, Ronnie, you're not on the committee, that's all. We just ruled you out.
I want you to all times ignore the cameraman.
This is a dead serious occasion.
Publicity committee.
Somebody's always trying to turn these into a goddamn farce.
Right.
Now, come on.
All
This
right.
is serious.
All right. Can we get an estimate of the financial conditions, bookkeeper? Would you like to do that now?
Estimate?
I mean, tell everybody what they are.
All right. I would like to report
Tell
the
'em.
same minutes I reported at the last meeting. Does everyone remember 12? Remember 12? $12,000. Yeah, well, it's just been decreased by $900 because the
donation.
Actors Workshop went bankrupt, so we don't have to pay them.
So you can consider the Actors Workshop having donated $900 to this theater. Right, which...
Wendy was so happy at that meeting when they collapsed.
We have in the Treasury at this moment $4.49.
And this is
And the
appeal to
Miser
America
Cast-
to
the
donate
Miser
money.
The Miser Cast is advised right now, those of you
Are you going to sit back and let us fail? Because of lack of funds?
No, the Miser Cast, whoever is left over.
Okay.
No, the Miser Cast has to be notified now. I mean, those of you who are in the cast, tell everybody else. Did you get my note? Okay. If you don't, Miser people, if you don't take in enough to pay for yourselves, Saturday and Sunday you are not going to get any money because there isn't any money.
That's not a game out there you're playing, it's survival. Your art.
Everybody.
So you have to start, the show will start, the first call is at 6 o'clock. And you work the parks from 9 to 10.
Before the show?
Yeah, anybody can push anything before the show should try and do it.
And you considered boosting the hate delicatessen.
Oh, look what you did. It's bent.
Oh, what do you mean it's bent now?
Lyndon?
It was bent.
Yes, sir.
Idiot.
Help me with this.
Let me get out of this. It's going to be right here.
There are a lot of people that have told us that they don't like our plays particularly, they don't understand them, but they really love the idea of a bunch of ragged people running out in the park with flutes and tambourines and setting up a wooden stage, you know, and throwing flowers out of our mouths at the audience. What do you mean she told me I was the first? That's not right.
Grand Street, huh?
I was over in Lucchese. I don't know, it doesn't seem as funny.
There we go.
Let's try the skunk. Let's try the skunk. Rosine, you know, in this park here under the bush, under that bush over there, I found a little tiny baby skunk.
Oh, that was a Volkswagen.
Yes.
Yeah, what did you do with it?
I'm going to take it home to my wife.
You're going to take him home? Where do you
That's
keep
right.
a skunk at home?
I keep it under the bed where my wife and I sleep at night.
Senor, what about the smell?
Oh, it'll just have to get used to it. I did. I love it. I love it. We give people a chance to step outside a theater, $2.75 seats, sit next to the spade cat sweeping the streets, and the college professor in from Berkeley today, and the hippies out in the audience, all sit down in the grass under one enclosure, right, the sky, and that's everybody's, and participate in an act of creation by a gypsy band on a stage.
That's the ideal, putting theater where one doesn't usually think of theater being. And that's why we hate to perform in a theater. And the reason is that it's a stage. You're 15 feet away from the people that you're addressing. We would want to be closer. Commedia is closer.
We cricketed up on Stanyon, remember? And we were all, we weren't in costume that day. And we walk in, everybody's walking by. Oh, you goddamn beatniks, well, how much money are you getting paid for this? You know, you're buying your drugs with this money? And you're very nasty.
I do, this is my part. I own this part. Oh, the janitor, my goodness. What the hell is that? Help, what the hell?
What do they got?
Hey, that's enough, all right. Hey, children should be seen and not had. No. All right, bye, kids. Nice kids, right.
Bye, kids.
Go play in the traffic for a while.
No.
It's the miser.
About another half hour.
It's all about money.
Actually, 45 minutes.
Next 30 shows.
You're gonna have to go out towards you about 4 inches.
Is that good enough?
Yeah, good enough. To your left about 3 inches. Okay, good.
You tell him that war is no good. It's like your life was a waste, man.
Right.
And I tried to make a difference between the two wars, but he would acknowledge the fact that the Vietnam War should never have started.
It's like growing up.
But that was
like having a street fight. You have to go through a certain amount of street fights, so you have to go out and die possibly, just to as a part of growing up. And you can't argue about it because that's the way it's done. You have to do it.
Hey, we just do it.
It fills a womb and heats a tomb, makes a fool of death, and makes a fool of death.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Signor Dottor, Chairman of the Board of Business Unlimited, Consolidated at Large. We buy, we sell, and we spend. Having made millions, we give away thousands. I am sure you have heard of the Tory Foundation. We subsidize more than half of all the creative activity in the world. And the Tory University for Women, a great symbol of our dedication to knowledge. And women, of course. But you, my friends, you have been unappreciated. You are the real patrons of the arts, and you deserve to be paid. You must have some money, children. Have some money. After all, money must be spent. If there were no money, there'd be no rich. If there's no rich, there'll be no poor. No poor, there'll be no debt. No debt, no installment buying. No color TV, no washing machines. If there were no money, there'd be no church. No church, there'd be no God. If there was no God, there'd be no godless enemy. No godless enemy, no war. No war, no war economy. What the hell would we do with ourselves? Spend some money. Money must be spent.
What are you tracing? You're throwing money away.
No. I'm giving away money.
No, stop! You shouldn't do that, you fool! It's precious! You should take it home, and you should touch it, and stroke it!
Oh, Pantalon, you fool! He doesn't know that unless you spend your money, it is worthless.
We got, Ron, can I rap a little bit about some money problems that we're going to have? We're going to have... Can we staff meet for about 10 minutes?
Yeah, well, I want to do it. Absolutely.
Are you about ready?
Come on.
I want to get 10 more minutes. 1:45. Oh, we got 10? Yeah, I've got 10 minutes. I want to spend 10 minutes. Okay. I will need about $60 in front for a minstrel show. New wigs.
You don't have to spend $60 for wigs.
No, including a whole mess of other stuff too.
Yeah.
Wigs and tambourines and stuff that must go, and I'll have to get it this week.
What do you want me to do?
It's incredible. I got him. I had him for 90 seconds. I know. Yeah, I had him for 90 seconds. Never, it's a problem. Not being an actor, I don't know how to really, pick up on the cues.
Eye contact.
Yeah.
This is not the only thing that goes on.
No, but I can say, like, my personal feeling right now, when I look at, what the money's going out and everything.
What are we
Very
talking about
much.
specifically?
We're talking generally about who should be responsible and what the policy for payment should be.
I'm in a position now where if I'm going to act as bookkeeper and treasurer, I would like the responsibility of acting as bookkeeper and treasurer. I cannot stand people coming up to me and saying, so-and-so gets this much. And there's no one place where you can go to and someone takes the responsibility of a decision.
All right, Herrick needs $60 for the minstrel stuff.
For what?
It says for expenses, wigs, makeup, general.
While free shows in the parks are the Mime Troupe's hallmark, its most successful production is performed in a theater. The Minstrel Show, or Civil Rights in a Cracker Barrel, written in 1965 by Saul Landau and R.G. Davis, is an outspoken comment on the black man's condition in America. The only Mime Troupe production that has toured the country, the Minstrel Show has on occasion been stopped in mid-performance by horrified university officials. And in Denver, members of the troupe were arrested for obscenity. They were later acquitted.
Were you ever in Canada? No, sir. I ain't never been no place in China. But in Mississippi,
I've been in Canada, and I almost flew there. What do you mean you almost flew there? If I'd had a couple of feathers in my hands, I'd have flew. 17 sheriffs was after me. What part of Canada were you in? Oh, I was in the wheat belt. And I almost got married there, too.
Indeed.
I met this here grass widow with the hay fever. And a woman can't get rid of hay fever dressed like that.
Dressed like what?
In a wheat belt. She always had this here head cold. I never seen her without it.
Where did she get her cold?
Didn't know. Said if she did, she'd take it back.
No, what I mean is how did she catch her cold?
Oh, her nose ran after you.
You said she nearly married you?
No. I said I nearly married her. And I would have married the old girl, too, except for something she said.
What did she say?
No. Then I comes home. You know how long I was in Canada?
No, how long were you in Canada?
Same as I is here. 6'3".
And Mr. Clinker, I honestly believe that you are the most intelligent person I have ever seen.
Yes, sir. I accept the nomination. There are a lot of folks done told me that, but I ain't tell nobody my secret for being so wise.
When I started into the show, it was like embarrassing. Wow. It's hard to put blackface on your face and be there with 3 white cats and 3 black cats in the cast, and you're making fun of each other, and you got to be pretty sure where you stand, and you can't just give lip service to it. Before you can swing behind it, you really got to work some stuff out, and it took about 3 embarrassing, kind of miserable months to work it out. And now the cast is like a unit.
Oh, well, tell me, son. I need some surplus wisdom. Tell me, how you get so wise?
I eat a certain kind of fruit that makes me wise.
Golly, I wish I had some of that. Sure costs a heap of money.
The wise fruit costs $2.50 each.
You mean anybody eat that there to get wise?
Mm-hmm. Just on account of using my partner, I'm gonna let you have it for $1.
Oh, well, I guess that's good.
Doggone if it ain't.
Doggone if it ain't worth $1 to be so wise. You happen to have change for an $8 bill?
Mm-hmm. Got a 7.
Oh, yeah, give it here. Thank you. Hey, Clinker.
Yeah.
You's a crook.
Woo, really?
This ain't nothing but a dried prune you sell me.
See, you getting wise already.
I mean, is this really where it's at? I mean, that's that old-time stuff, man. I mean, let's get things more up to date.
Well, what you suggest?
Well, I tell you, something that's really what's happening nowadays is what's happening down this scene here, this job that I got.
Oh, yeah? Tell me about it.
Well, you see, I got this here job working in this restaurant washing dishes. And there's 2 kind of people in that world. The ones that walks and works in the kitchen all day like the lowly dogs. And them ones that come in there and eat the lowly slop.
Oh, well, you must meet a nice, integrated clientele.
Oh, sure, I meet them all the time. Matter of fact, that's what I was gonna do, is show you fellas exactly how we meet.
Oh, yeah.
Now, look here, Ink Spot, you come first.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want you to play a white man.
Well, I accept any kind of a character part.
Hey, Bones, Hocus, whatever your name is. Come here, son, come here. Now, look, I saved the good part for you.
You saved it for me?
The fine part.
For me?
The big part.
Hot dog, give it to me.
Man,
What is it?
It's like
What
the
is
big
it?
time.
Yeah?
Like on Broadway.
Broadway.
With your name up in the light.
Yeah, I can see it up there now.
All the blazing colors.
Yeah, that's me, huh?
Psychedelic, man.
Yeah, that's
coming
me.
out at you.
What is it? Tell me.
Middle-class Negro.
I resent that. You street nigger.
Yeah, well,
gentlemen, be reasonable. Gentlemen, let me take it.
You want reason? Well, it's all the reason I got left, man. There's just enough reason to cut you up. Cause you chicken shit ass kisser. You don't even carry no blade to defend yourself no more, do you? Huh? Well, I'm gonna cut your throat. Now, cool it, baby. We brothers. That's the white man.
Look, I didn't say anything.
Shut up!
I didn't say
Shut your fucking mouth, man. You don't never say shit to me. Not except do this when you want me to do it, huh? Or clean that. Well, I'm doing the talking now, huh? And what I'm saying is that one of you mothers is gonna get it. All I gotta do is just figure out which one of you I hate the most. You, or maybe you. way I figure is there's really no one else saying what we are saying in the way we are saying it. We still are dealing with a very old, ugly problem. I think it's about time we changed it. I want to change. Now I've only been here 20 years. I'm sick of it already. And I don't know, I just get the feeling like this country has done so much running away from itself that it's going to wind up just going into a circle. It's a circle of madness until it finally just flips totally out. Because there's so many things that we're trying to pretend aren't there. And we all know they are.
Well, look at the kids, man. There are 500 runaways a month coming to San Francisco and living in the streets.
And, you know, if a kid's going to come and live in the streets, 500 a month, it must mean that something's wrong with middle-class America. Something's wrong with America, period. And the kids know it. The hippies know it. The straight people know it, right? Okay? It's just that some people think it's worth it to give up the money or to give up the status or to give up whatever it is that they know is hanging them up. Now people want to be free of all this. People are tired. And I don't know. I'm just hoping that something's going to happen soon. Something good for everybody.
During which time there will be social dancing on the stage with the minstrels. The minstrels will come among you and choose partners and do a dance here on the stage. I'd like some music, please. A 10-minute intermission.
Shoe shine for time.
I got one. Look at me, Jack. Boy, she red as hell, ain't she? Look, turn around on this shoulder boat. Come on, turn around, sis. Come on. Show everybody how red. Oh, come on, honey. Oh, look at you. Oh, baby, you look like a sweet beat. I ain't jiving. Oh, you blushing little thing, you. Wait a minute now. Come on, let's dance now. Come on. Hey, why don't you guys go use the bathroom? Go use the bathroom. You know, get out of here. What the hell are you looking at? Get out of here. Oh, did you? Oh, goddamn. Here my woman is right here. Oh, honey, old refugee from the picket line. I was busted with this woman in Cadillac. Busted with this Jerry Cadillac. Now we gonna come up here and get busted tonight together. Woo! Goddamn! Oh, yeah. I got the America on me. Woo-hoo-hoo! Hey, get this damn thing away from me. Get that camera. Hey, what the hell you blushing about? Hell, I'm the one that looks funny. Remember, this will be the last time you ever see your wife. Here she goes. She's about to be enveloped by darkness. Oh, look at that man there. There's a man with that funny thing. He loves you. Honey, why are you making this baby cry? Don't do that. Don't be making this baby cry now. Honey, this is stardom, man. This is your chance. This is it, baby. This is Hollywood. Hollywood all the way. Oh, boy, can you see this hot new star here?
There are people who have come to the company who have looked upon this as a group to join because we're having fun. Commedia draws generally a lot of young people. And it's an example of people going on the stage and having a joyous time, ad-libbing and comic. Obviously, they're enjoying themselves. So they're attracted to it, and when they find that we don't have a goal and we don't have an aim to change the world, nothing concrete, and you can't say tomorrow, if we do this, A, we will get to B and get to C, and next week we're going to make it on this level, and then success will come through the window, and we'll get the foundation support. If you can't define that for some people, they have to drop out, or they'll crack up, because this organization only presents more anxiety for all the shit that's outside, because we're face to face with it every day. You don't like the way the system is out there? Try and change it. You're frustrated Because you're trying to do something you want to do. You're trying to spread a little joy, a little life, a little understanding, a little dialogue, possibly a little love, a lot of hate. But in order to do that, you got to struggle through a whole bunch of backwash of garbage that's thrust in your face every day with newspapers and radio. And one of the problems with the stuff we do is that it brings up all the garbage.
Okay, you ready? Yes. Okay, then, here we go. Clinker, here I'm the rundown. Me, an ink spot here. I'm gonna be two 17-year-old kids in New York City. We standing on the corner of 127th and Lennox, and it's 11 o'clock at night. Now you got two 17-year-olds in New York City, 11 o'clock at night, 127th and Lennox, hands up to one thing. Wait, right. No, curfew, boy. That's a violation of curfew, that is. Yeah, look here. Seeing that you so much on the ball, your muscles is whining and twining, I'm gonna give you the good part. I'm gonna give you the best part. I'm gonna give you the fine part. Clinker, I want you to be a cop. No, you ain't gonna place that burden on me. Now, wait a minute now, Clinker. You know give me better than that. Now, I wouldn't have you being no common, ordinary, low-life cop. Boy, I want you to be better than that. I want you to be a white cop. No! You ain't gonna place a white burden on me neither. Now, wait, cool now. Now, would you do this for me? If I was to tell you that I was gonna let you, Clinton, be a genuine, authenticated, AKC registered Irish cop. Oh, well, that's different. Why didn't you say that in the first place? Irish ain't neither black nor white. Yeah, well, you know, why don't you recognize that? Just step on off the stage and come like a cop.
Hey, Jimmy, how do a cop come?
On the beat. Yeah. All right, now, is you ready? I'm ready. No, you ain't.
There's a lot of information in a minstrel show, and information about how young Negro kids feel, and what the hip scene is about, what some ideas are possible in the civil rights situation. We, in a sense, go further than most politicians go. And I think art has to take that risk.
Yeah, all right, now, we's ready.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute, man. Now, I read about some trouble last summer.
They had a 15-year-old kid out there that killed somebody, and the cops came and killed him, and shit got
wait a
started.
minute, man. I know what you talking about, man.
Yeah.
That kid didn't kill nobody, man.
Now, wait a minute, man. They killed a kid. He must have killed somebody or something. I know something
Look,
bad.
man, wait a minute. Now,
Wait,
I got it right from the
you trying to
horse's
tell me
mouth,
they didn't
man.
kill a kid?
No, man, yeah, they killed a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, but the kid didn't kill nobody.
Yeah.
All he did was borrow somebody's automobile for a weekend cruise.
What? Wait a minute, Deacon. You mean to tell me the kid boosted a short and they wasted him?
Precisely.
God damn. How much is the car worth?
Must be worth more than the nigga.
Yeah, we'll get that kid's mother some roller skates.
I mean, it's true, man. But then you know what, man? Willie was right there. He saw that shit. You
Well,
know?
I know that dude didn't take it lying down.
Ain't you hip to it,
Yeah,
baby? Willie got the stomping.
cutting, baby.
Stabbing.
Stealing.
Robbing.
Raping,
Boy,
man.
man, they give some groovy parties in
Yeah,
California.
I seen those cats, man, out on the TV, picking up mohair suits and TVs. Your man didn't cut us in on shit, Jack.
No, wait a minute. Before you rank Willie, you ought to get yourself clued in on what's been going down.
Baby, I'm clued that this is a year-old suit,
Oh,
man.
now, wait a minute.
I ain't got
Hey, wait a minute, man. There's more than them damn rags in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Willie trying to turn us on, man. Trying to turn us on to respect for ourselves, man.
Respect?
Yeah,
Come on,
shit.
baby. You
This
sound
cat-
like Martin
wait a
Luther
minute,
King.
Wait a minute. Ain't no Martin Luther King gig, Jack, cause Willie, he don't go that way.
Oh, yeah?
Willie done already told me how you make them, Molotov cocktails.
Shit, I didn't know the Russians were in on it, man.
No, wait a minute. There ain't no Russians in on this here.
Yeah.
It's just a little domestic self-help program.
Oh, well, solid. That's cool. Yeah, well, lay it on
What
me,
dig,
man.
man? Tell me, is you hip to bottles?
Oh, yeah, that's like a glass can.
Oh, yeah, right.
right.
Well, dig. You take yourself a bottle. You get some gasoline.
Yeah.
Pour into the bottle. Stuff a rag down there.
Yeah.
Leave some hanging out. You light it up. Throw it up against your local police department and boom! Instant peace.
Solid. Yeah. Dig it, man. You got to get hip. Learn something from the crackers that run this country, man. If you fight a war, you don't fight in your own country, right? Well, now, if you live in Watts and you want to hassle, you don't burn down your own neighborhood. You fuck up Beverly Hills.
Woo, I can see it, man. They going out Sunset Boulevard. Mad. Oh, they got knives.
Yeah, they got razors.
Oh, bottles.
Pistols,
baby.
yeah, they're
Ooh,
hot.
them cats. Is that the National Guard over there?
Here come the police.
Sheriff
Hey,
over there.
where you 60,000 niggers think you're going?
Oh, baby, we just going over Sammy Davis Jr. fish fried matzo. You hip to it, man?
Yeah, I hear May is just a bad fox.
Yeah, man. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin pulled a train on last night.
Hey, be cool, man.
Yes, sir. Ever stop the
All right, move along.
Yes, sir, officer. Anything you said, baby, it's your world.
Yes, boss.
Dig. Shit, man.
God damn, man. Is that a tiny motherfucker of a policeman?
Lady, though?
God damn. You remember them other ones? Them imported ones, man?
Oh, you mean the ones they brought from Oakland?
Yeah, I'm at the bit with the big
38-inch neck?
Yeah, and the 44-inch pistols, man.
I'm hip to it. Them
Picking
cats
them
was-
up, putting them down. Yeah.
Cats was mean,
Yeah, you
Jack.
know, but you saw how sweet this cat come
Oh,
along.
coach, man.
Move on, kid.
Move along. Yeah,
kid.
you know why that is,
I know why, because we showed them some respect.
That's
man.
right, Jack. Them cats know we don't take that no
We
more.
showed them, motherfuckers. Harlem.
Philadelphia.
San Francisco,
Ain't
man.
you hip
They
to
got
it?
respect for us, baby.
All right, you black bastards, move that car, please. Well,
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, a
that's
little
good.
bit of respect.
Yeah, listen, man, another week that old fake mother be shining my shoes.
Ain't you hip
I
to
say,
it, baby?
shine it, boy.
Ain't you
Snap
hip
the
to
rag,
it?
baby.
Goddamn,
Come on,
combing my motor,
Spit on it,
baby.
Yeah,
Shit,
spit on
I'm
that
gonna be
shoe,
so
my man.
goddamn
It's just
bold.
gonna- you bold, man. I'm gonna...
Well, yeah, take it easy, baby.
I
told you both to move on.
Right, man, I just gotta take my aunt to the hospital. She's out in the car getting sick now.
All right, come here against the wall, both of you.
Wait a minute, wait.
You don't need to be getting uptight. Get against the wall before I bash your mouth. Now, wait a minute, man. What's the hell with you? No white stuff in.
One little of that, baby.
Easy, man. Don't press the mohair. All right, what's your name here?
My name is Harry.
Harry what?
Finkelstein.
Just over here. Hey, what you got against Jews, man? Nothing against Jews. I got a whole lot against rotten niggers. So where's your ID card? Hey, man, don't you know I can't fit no ID in these tight pants? I want to do Get against this wall and stay there. Wait a minute, hey. Flanagan, send me a wagon up to 125th Street in Lenox. Got a couple of wise niggers up here.
Hey, man. Baby,
Got
hey,
a
wait
few
a minute.
minutes yet,
Wait a
then.
minute, baby. Ain't no need to call a wagon, Jim.
Yeah,
we just jiving
Well, I
with you,
did.
man. Come on, man.
We'll both go.
Oh, man, ain't no
I'll
need.
walk you down there.
Hey,
Oh,
wait a
baby,
minute.
now, man, this is necessary. I mean, I got to make it home. I got to give you to in the morning.
Come on, man. My mother wants to see me, man.
Well, I got someone who wants to see you, too. The sergeant down at the
Man, this cat
too uptight, man. You
nothing.
can't talk to his kind. The cat needs his soul, man.
Yeah. You need to dig a little Bobby.
Get against this wall here. The little wheel will pick it, man.
Yeah, the wall is ready.
Jimmy Reed might be on feet,
James
man.
Brown.
Soul
Yeah,
against this wall.
my man, you need yourself a soul injection.
No soul for this cat, make soul.
But I'm not quite as brought down as everybody else is because I don't know why. I just see that and say, yes, that's the enormity of what we're doing, and God, it's tiring and it's frustrating and all that, and so, okay, we just go back to rehearsal.
Hey, the thing that happened and the reason why we're down is that at the end of an hour of film, they're at the same place they were when they started.
Oh, no,
Right?
it's over.
Yeah.
No, it's over. Now you
okay,
do this.
yeah, but the thing is that nothing's been changed. Nothing's been changed through that film. Most films, something happens.
An earlier version of this film was shown to several members of the Mime Troupe, and this was their response.
We talked about money last year. We're going to talk about the war this year. We talk about the Great Society. What are you going to do with LBJ in the theater? What do we do with London Baines Johnson, who's a murderer? What do we do with it? What do we do with the hippie drug scene? That's the big problem right now with us in the company. What are we going to do with that? Responsible to that thing, to that movement. Who can move it?
Yeah, but it's not the question of hitting the target. Let's assume that we hit the target.
It's also a question of what's the target.
Yeah,
the target keeps on shifting
the target
around.
shifting, but not only that.
We hit
okay,
money
we're
last
hitting it.
year.
We're hitting it with, you know, about everything we can. Are we doing anything to the target? At the end of that, footage, man, we hadn't touched that target, man. We hadn't even chipped a little of the paint off the middle of that thing, and it's sort of depressing.
A lot of hard work, that's all. I mean, I just see it constant, and it doesn't move fast. It moves very slowly. And I think what the film, for me, does, it just smacks it all back in my face, and it turns it around and says, yeah, it's all there. It still is. It's not changed at all.
Do we have to talk about this kind of stuff, or do we just have to do? Is this actional or is it dialogue? Why what? Why? Because I feel we have to. Why? Because I feel I have to create. Because this is the kind of place to create what I want to say. Because if there's something wrong, I can say something's wrong. All the other issues, the issue of money, that's not a concern that anybody here feels strongly anymore. We're talking about it. We talk about it in such a way that we try to make the people in the parks, the people who come to see the minstrel show, see that these problems exist. But if we ourselves get down by these problems, like right now sitting around feeling depressed, that's a bunch of crap. I mean, we gotta go on with our rehearsals, right?
What action do you want to take which is going to be significant? And we constantly are in a bind to find a significant action. Is comedy a significant action? Is a minstrel show a significant action?
I don't know what significance means. I mean, I know what you mean by it, right? And I'm not cutting that out, but like when you got a little gun, you aim at a certain kind of target, and you do that, and then maybe you can get a bigger gun, aim at the next size target.
What will be the thing we have to do? That's,
well, you know,
maybe where we are.
It's also significance. I start to think of the mime troupe sometimes in terms of, somebody said in that, I tend to think of it in terms of like a reinforcement. In other words, right, we run around and we hit 12 colleges. And we presented, okay, a certain kind of ideology and a certain kind of, what we really present is a certain kind of style.
But what do you think the mime troupe will look like to people that see this film?
Oh, it seems to me there's going to be numerous, reactions from the people who want to join us, the people who hate us, a bunch of beatniks. A waste of time, iconoclastic, they're not dangerous, they are dangerous, they should be wiped out. I mean, there's not just one audience, I think, there's all sorts of opinions. They've got to understand that if you want to do it, it's hard. And if you want to do it, you got to accept that kind of, the responsibility and the despair of it. There's no end.
Ah, buck up there, laddie. We're gonna do it, right? On that very stage with those insane drops.